And then the big one. The big one. This is probably the biggest one. Standing in the way of organizational change. And repeat the matter from Agile. So, we always have business, right? And we have IT. And what does IT say about business? Anybody? Well, they never know what they want, right? They always change their minds. And what does business say about IT? These guys never deliver. A lazy bunch of weirdos, right? Wearing Metallica t-shirts and dark holes, right? Now they know how they're doing. So what we turn into in an organization is we turn into a bitterly divorced couple. We speak through our lawyers. And there's a specific term for it. It's called the PMO. Think about it. What the hell does a PMO do? They draw up contracts. What is a spec? It's a contract. What is a Gantt chart? It's a contract. What the hell do they do? They draw up contracts. Which means we work for the same company, but we treat each other like vendors. No? We work for the same company, but we draw up the same contract as if you're my vendor. Why? Because I hate you. I don't trust you. I don't like you. No? And we even do it physically. We put IT. We put IT, you know, Braamfontein, it's cheaper rent here. And we put business in Sandton. Because it's more accessible and fancy. Right? That's our face. So let's put IT here, it's cheaper, and let's put business there. And then we forget that these people need to work together. So now we actually have to employ a whole shuttle service. The amount of waste you create by that is cheaper to just buy another person holding on Sandton. Okay. Stop the silliness. Stop the silliness. Actually share the risk. You're in this boat together. You just don't know. I'm actually prescribing personally to the whole idea of scrap an IT department. You are just who you are. If you work for a company, that's the company. You're all in the same boat. One is doing IT stuff and one is doing business stuff, but you're in the same freaking boat. The fact that we actually say break down the silos, the biggest silo of all is business versus IT. Business versus IT. Scrap the whole business IT thing. We are company X. That's it. And we either swim together or we drown together. That's it. We have to start thinking about these things, right? Stop the silliness. You know? If you can cut 90% of your lawyer's fees, how much money will you save per year? Cool, there you go. And the biggest one. Agile is a big baseball bat you can moon IT with, right? Because they're the problem. They're the problem, so let them go Agile, you know. I love it whenever you arrive in the morning for training, and you go, so who's here? Always developers, testers, project managers, and then once every 6 months, well, I'm a business guy, but I have no idea why I'm here. It's an IT problem, right? Agile is an IT problem. Business has got nothing to do with it. They're not the problem. The fact that they actually just chuck over the fence a half-baked idea, demanding a perfect deadline, perfect budget with a Gantt chart supporting it, right? From a half-baked idea because I want to go and play golf. That's got nothing to do with the problem, right? The problem is we treat each other like vendors, that's not the problem. It's an IT thing. So we heard the Scrum thing makes developers better. If you're a crap developer, Scrum will show the world you're a crap developer. But it won't make you a better developer, will it? It won't make you a better developer. Okay, so they get this type of stuff, right? So let's move it. Enabling a sustainable enterprise change, right? To become sustainable as an enterprise, you have to address a few things. Now, I'm going to go one slide back. Imagine we can send out a memo tomorrow and we send it to all the employees and say, from tomorrow onwards, we're going to have a continuous improvement culture in this organization. Wouldn't it be beautiful? That's going to be beautiful, right? But we can't do that. We can't tell people or instruct them to be different. Why? What was wrong with what I'm doing now? I have no idea what you're talking about. You can't tell people to be agile. You can't tell them to be different to what they were before. You have to take them to a journey. Most people don't even understand what you're trying to tell them. And that's why you have to actually focus on 4 things as an organization. The first one is tools and techniques. You can't change the people, change how people work. You can change their actions. Many case studies on that, right? About lean, needle factories, all that stuff. You change the way people work, and by actually changing how they work, they start to realize why it's a better way to work. So the first thing you tackle as an organization, yes, I agree, start. Start teaching people Scrum. Start doing all this stuff. But don't stop there. Don't stop there. You change people's actions. They're starting to realize what the hell is happening here. And they're going to kick your ass or leave. Agile is supposed to be this massive retention tool, but yet people leave. Because you don't show a toddler a sweetie and then take it away. That's what we do to developers. We show them the different sides of the matrix and then we say, but you can't have it. It never happened. But for all that to happen, you actually have to have an organizational or management infrastructure supporting that. So let's do all the Scrum things, whatever you select, let's go and do it. But guys, if your management structures do not support what you're trying to do there, it won't happen. Then you'll go. You must support the ability to fail. You must support the ability for people to speak up and say we can improve. You must support decentralization of decision making to the right level where the right people, the right knowledge, make the right decisions. Your management infrastructure needs to support it, otherwise you're going to go. You're going to go nowhere. You also have to have the right architecture in place. You know, let's do Agile, but we can't do continuous integration. Let's do Agile, but we don't do unit testing. Let's do Agile, but we actually do not have proper development servers and QA servers in place. Let's do Agile, but we test everything manually, every time. You have to have an architecture to support it. Loosely coupled architectures as far as your architectural runway is concerned. So that you can invent on top of it. So that the architecture can emerge. No upfront architectures anymore. Go back to the 80s. And over time, what you will see is an organizational culture and mindset change. Organizational culture and mindset change. The more people do this, and the more you support what comes out of it, and embrace it, the more you'll see an organizational culture and mindset. So, sustainable enterprise agility comes from a constant focus of all 4 of these areas. Not just from being good at Scrum. And yet people start to blame Scrum. So you guys have done Scrum for 6 months, nothing has changed. Yeah, because you don't allow me to. You don't allow me to. It's not Scrum's fault, it's your fault. Cool. That's it. Any questions? Just one last comment. Right. What we need to do as organizations is bring the A in Agile back. Right. A, continuous improvement through the PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, act in small batches, right? Through iterations in order to continuously improve. A lot of companies, very good at planning. They're even very good at doing. They're even very good at checking. But how many organizations do you know actually consciously go and change because of it? That's the A in Agile. If you don't change because of what you learn, you are not Agile. You are stupid. Because what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So don't be good at PDCAs. Be good at PDC. Don't be good at PDC and A. And that's why the first thing we do in an organization with struggles with Agile is we ask for the retrospective notes. Now, but we don't do that. But then you can't be Agile. There's your problem. If you don't have the balls to change, please die. Okay. Thanks very much. Any questions? we react the way, Eli Goldberg, tell me how you're going to measure me, I'll show you how we behave, right? If you tell people they can't fail, they won't fail, but then it will take longer, right? If your client says to you they want an exact number, then you can give an exact number, but then you have to double up or even increase to 3 times what you think it will take to cover the risk of change. And that's where you see these massive contracts, right? So our customers, they come sometimes, we need to do fixed bid contracting, right? Because that's how you control your vendor. Now, guys, think very clear about a fixed bid contract. Once that contract is signed, page 1 says this is how we're going to behave, and this is how I'm going to pay. Page 2 to 46 is saying, if you change your mind, this is how I'm going to screw you over. So who's in control? The customer or the vendor? Customers actually understand. That's a big problem. Organizations don't want to change to Agile because their customers still demand them to behave a certain way. But the only one who's losing is the customer, because in a fixed bid world, I'll always make money. It's the easiest way to make money in fixed bid. You go and you go, well, this will roughly take 6 months. But if you want a fixed bid contract, so 1.5 years. And if he changes his mind, which I know he will, because he's not a fortune teller who actually can predict the future perfectly. Now, I like this executive. I say, but you can. I say, well, cool, do you believe in fortune telling? No. But why do you do it in the organization? Because you say, let's actually go and spec stuff for the next 3 months. And all you see is a lot of people sitting around a crystal ball going, what will the future look like? What will the future? And I must be right. The only one losing is your customer. You have to take them on a journey. I have a software development company as well. We take them on a journey. We say to them, oh, this thing may cost you 3, may cost you 6 million. Yeah, I want it for free. Up for 3. And I go, cool. But now I have the opportunity to talk to them. I'll say, closest way to get is 3. If they still want to go 6, I'll go 6. No problem. But then it's 6. Okay. And usually customers want to hear cents. They want to hear 5,984 rand cents. 10 cents. It's like financial directors. As soon as you mention cents on a budget, right? They go, you must have done your job well. But as soon as you say to them, maybe 4, maybe 6, they go, you lazy bastard. And when you give them the exact number, do not tell them they actually believe it. Because they've always been in the business right. So that's a problem you sit with, and Agile's not going to clear that for you. It's a financial, economic view. You have to take your customers through what waste is, what is not waste, all that stuff. It's a hard one. Mary Poppendieck, they wrote massive books on Agile contracting. Read that. Read a book called Product Flow by Arrie. He talks about the economics of this stuff, which helps you to convince your customer.